Hey, what's going on folks? My name's Gray. This is Video Holocaust, the best channel on YouTube for Asian martial arts movies and worldwide cult cinema, where today we will be returning to the land of the rising sun for some Chambara infused period anime action, as I take a look at a critically acclaimed work and with its 10th anniversary special edition DVD available uncut in the UK for the very first time, as I review the 1993 anime feature that the Wachowski brothers have cited as an influence. It is Ninja Scroll. The phrase "they don't make 'em like that anymore" is often bandied about when discussing great films from the past, whose stature, reputation and legacy looms large over more recent substandard projects. However, in the case of 1993's Ninja Scroll, it'd be more accurate to say they wouldn't be allowed to do that today, as over the last 10 or so years, Japan's fairly liberal laws about the content of both manga and anime have become stricter and stricter, to the point where it's become farcical in places. And it's not just anime and manga, but violence in video games has been a hot topic once again in Asia, leading to many instances of Japanese games being heavily censored in their home market but released uncut overseas, to the recent announcement by the Chinese government, a major market for the games industry, that all scenes of blood, gore and even skeletons would be banned outright, meaning the chances of new anime or live action movies featuring high levels of overly stylized sex and violence being greenlit anytime soon is close to zero. Now, Ninja Scroll was a big deal in its homeland, but its most important contribution would have to be outside of Japan, where it played an important role in the anime invasion of the West, following on from earlier releases such as Fist of the North Star, Akira, Project A-ko, Appleseed and many others. Ninja Scroll proved that anime was going to be no mere flash in the pan but was here to stay, and its successful British distributor Manga Entertainment would see them buoyed by the appetite for anime in the West, stump up a sizable share to co-produce a big screen version of Masamune Shiro's popular cyberpunk manga Ghost in the Shell. Created, written and directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, who made his mark in the anime world in the late 1980s with hip, violent, urban, theatrical releases and OVAs like Wicked City and Cyber City Audio 808, and animated by Madhouse, a studio with a diverse portfolio of projects, including Cardcaptor Sakura and One Punch Man, to the bulk of the late Satoshi Kon's filmography. Ninja Scroll follows the adventures of Jubei, a ronin wandering the land answering to no one, based on a real-life 17th century swordsman whose exploits have been fictionalized so much over the centuries that it's hard to separate the fact from the fiction. But in this movie, Jubei gets drawn into a deadly game of life and death, namely his own, as he has been poisoned by a government spy whose investigations into a deadly group of supernatural assassins isn't going well. So he blackmails Jubei into lending him some muscle in return for an antidote. Now, besides its top quality animation, dazzling action set pieces and overall brilliance, there is another reason why this movie and many others by Yoshiaki Kawajiri have entered the public eye recently, and that's the treatment meted out to many of the female characters in Kawajiri's work. But to all the critics of the director and those trying to label him a misogynist, let me just say, with all due respect, on his behalf and in defence of freedom of expression in the arts, fuck off! With the stakes being raised and the threat of civil war returning to ravage the country should the baddies win, Jubei and company step up their pursuit, but with a literal backstabbing of love interest and comrade-in-arms Kagero, shit gets personal. And with the monkeys dispatched, it's time to face the organ grinder, who dreams of becoming king by using stolen gold to buy European guns to take down the feudal Tokugawa shogunate. But he hadn't counted on our hero scuttling his ship along with his plans of conquest, and for all his demon powers granting him invulnerability, it's his avarice that dooms him, as he ends up cocooned by his own melted gold and sent to the bottom of the sea. And having vanquished the evildoers, Jubei returns to his wanderings. But would he disappear forever, or would he swing his sword for justice once more? And the good news is that Jubei would indeed return with a 13-episode TV anime follow-up. The bad news is we would have to wait 10 years to get it. Once more animated by Madhouse, unfortunately Kawajiri's name is noticeably missing from the credits, but it's an enjoyable samurai-flavoured adventure that's well worth a watch. And speaking of worth a watch, the original full-length Ninja Scroll is definitely one to watch if you've yet to see it. A sumptuous supernatural odyssey, packed with action, intrigue and memorable characters from the first minute to the last. A personal favourite of mine and an early example to many that cartoons were not just for kids. So my name's Gray, this has been Video Holocaust. Lots more videos coming your way very soon. So please like, share, comment and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.